Aloha and namaste. Today, I'd like to share with you some of the principles behind Evolutionary Yoga Flow because it can help us to take a better class and to experience the depth of yoga. You know, yoga is not something that comes all of a sudden. We suddenly do, say, a sunrise salute, or we touch our toes and we feel great. Although that can happen, the long-term gain in yoga is that through regular and rhythmic practice, we begin to find our whole anatomy changing. Our mind changes. The way that we perceive the world changes. Because with every breath, we are able to rehabilitate parts of the body that may have been impinged from tension or from disordered thinking or from a trauma. Now, if you think about it, stress and trauma describes life. There's an enormous amount of tension that we have to deal with. And so yoga shows us how in steps we can begin to purify and wash away that unconscious tension and restore our true nature. Now, our true nature doesn't go anywhere, it's always here, but sometimes we're not in touch with it. To get in touch with it, we start small. We start at the initial stages. And then we slowly build up, just like a child is born and is first an infant. And then as they grow, they're a toddler, and then an adolescent, and then an adult, and then an elder. And so this gradual path of evolution is something that we see in all of life, in the Earth's evolution, in human evolution, and we also see it in our evolution through yoga. We move from being, say, in a state of suffering where we don't feel very well, and as we learn to breathe better and concentrate and pay attention, then we develop more empowerment, and then we feel that we can access our vision center and begin to manifest more directly what we want in life. And then we reach the higher stages of what's called in yoga samadhi, which is a state of natural bliss and transparency, where we simply mirror our environment and can help other people to feel better and to relieve more suffering in the world. So when we have a yoga class like this on our YouTube channel, you may be a beginner, you may be very seasoned, you may be you've been practicing 1 or 2 years, but you still can do every yoga class the way that it's taught here. And I'll show you how. For instance, one of our favorite moves is to come into a table position. And in this position, we have the hips over the knees. We have the shoulders not right on top of the wrists, but a little bit back here, so we're not putting excess stress on the wrists. And that is your basic pose. And my head is long, my tailbone is reaching back, and a very simple movement that I can do is to simply lift the navel and round the spine into a cat back, and then lift the head and the tail into what we call a dog tilt or a cow tilt, some people call it. And then we exhale, lift the navel up and draw the abdomen in. And what we're doing here is we're warming up the spine. Now if that's too much on the wrists, we can come down on the forearms and do it this way with the shoulders on top of the elbows and simply do the same thing, undulating the spine in this way to get maximum range of motion in the vertebrae. So, and you can stay on your forearms if you want for this next part. So then a first step that we might do after that initial stabilizing movement is we might bring one of the legs back. And just like that, that's the next stage. You don't need to go any further than that. If you just stay in this position with the hips squeezed together, with the head and the tail reaching away from each other, drawing the navel in, you're doing yoga. You're concentrating on keeping your balance and alignment in this position. If you're ready to go a little bit further, you can do one of two things. You can reach the opposite arm forward and get a nice diagonal movement, or you can just simply lift the leg. So that's another way to go to your next stage. And then the next stage after that, which you don't go to, if this is enough, you stay here. The next stage is to extend out, and you're getting a full stretch between the toes in the back and the fingers in the front. Inhale and exhale, and that may be enough. You don't want to do anymore. But if we continue in our gradual path and our incremental yoga flow, we can draw the elbow to the knee and squeeze in here to do some abdominal strengthening work, right? So this is a little bit harder, right? But we don't go there unless we're ready for it. We can stay just right here, and holding it will give us all that we need. Another stage is to bring the arm and the leg out to the side, and then back. And then bring the arm and the leg out to the side, and then line up in a completely horizontal position. That's great. Then if you feel like going another step, you can bring that front arm back, take your foot and lift up and get a little back bend. But you may be the person that's just at stage 2. That's okay. Don't push yourself. Listen to your body. And then we can all enjoy yoga and see what's coming. So then if you can do that, you may go to the next stage, or you may still be like this with the leg down and both hands on the ground, and you can simply turn the hip over so that it's on top of the lower hip, right? A nice straight spine, the foot in line with the head, and we can lift that leg. That's the next stage. Or we can keep the leg down, stretch through the waist, and extend the arm over so we get a nice side angle stretch, preparing us for the side angle asana later on. And then if we want, we can lift that leg and really reach, draw the shoulder blades together, squeeze those rhomboids together, hollow the belly, lengthen between the head and the tail, reach through the toes and the fingers, and then flex that back foot. And then if you want, you can even bring the hand back and take a little back bend here. So that's the more advanced stage, which you don't have to do, but if you want to do, it's available for you. So gently bring the arm and the leg back. Come in and then separate the knees, put the big toes together, draw your tailbone back, reach the arms forward, and come down and breathe and rest in child's pose. Inhale and exhale. So that's how we do yoga incrementally, so that you can practice at your level and be healthy and be safe and go with the evolutionary flow. Oh, hi, Marya here. We hope you enjoyed this yoga video, and if you did, and you'd like to help spread the good word so that other people can feel more peace and more health and more happiness, then please click the like below and leave a comment about what you enjoyed, and subscribe to the channel. Come back again and again and evolve yourself, help evolve our planet, and enjoy more of the richness and the power of yoga and shamanism and quantum healing in your life. Namaste and aloha.